And we appreciate you joining us here on this Tuesday edition of Weather Impact Now. I am Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett. A much nicer Tuesday today than what we had yesterday. All that flooding rain, heavy rain in the morning was a much needed break from that today. Still had some clouds hanging on in the afternoon, but all in all, not too many complaints about Tuesday. Now, as we look ahead to the forecast for the rest of the week, we are going to have some more changes in store. Tomorrow, another chance of pop-up storms. Now, it's not going to be a repeat of Monday, thankfully. We do not expect heavy flooding rain. These are going to be those quick little spotty downpours that are going to last a much shorter period of time. So these will be isolated. It's not going to rain all day tomorrow. If you do see rain, it's probably not going to last that long. By the end of the week, we go to a much drier pattern. Rain chances go down to near zero after tomorrow. And this time of year, dry means hot. So temperatures jack up, humidity jacks up. You combine that together, heat index values over 100, maybe 105 early next week. Checking in with the numbers today, we made it to 83. That was very comfortable. The average high is 91. Record was 101, set back in 1988. Certainly a hot year back then. Some of you remember that. Low this morning, 66. Average low 72. Clouds are moving in. That's thanks to a storm system coming in from the west, but we are expected to be dry. 81 the current temperature. Dew point not too high, so that feels like that heat index is not too much of a factor right now. It only feels like 83. Already in the 70s in Covington and Bolivar. It's 79 in Covington, 79 in Bolivar, 82 in Oxford, 81 right now in Clarksdale. Dew point is creeping up. This is the measure of the humidity we like to show you. The higher this number, the higher the humidity. So when you get into the 70s down here, you see how it's much more humid out west. That is much higher humidity. And guess where that's headed? Right in here. So we're going to notice tomorrow that humidity continues to increase, and it is going to stay high for the rest of the week and the weekend. Radar completely clear right now. I expect it to be that way tonight. But what we are watching is back to our west. We've got a little storm complex here coming out of Oklahoma, right along the Red River north of Dallas. This is going to have a big impact on what happens tomorrow. So there's two things that could happen with this, and I'll tell you which one I think is more likely. This storm system could make it to us tomorrow morning. We could have some rain early. If it's raining in the morning, it's going to be more dry in the afternoon. What I think is going to happen, though, is this system kind of falls apart before it gets to us. That means it's going to be mostly dry in the morning. That opens the door for a better pop-up storm chance in the afternoon. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I really think that system is going to fall apart before it gets to us. So a dry morning expected tomorrow, but I do think a couple of storms are possible in the afternoon. Through the evening, looking pretty good. Temperatures down into the 70s by about 10 o'clock, a mostly clear sky, and then lows going to get to the 60s tonight. Again, everybody's staying mostly clear, and I expect dry conditions in the morning. Now, there could be a couple of sprinkles, but I do think the morning hours will be mostly dry. Of course, with that in mind, there is that chance for some pop-up storms in the afternoon. Not going to rain everywhere tomorrow, and it's certainly not going to last all day, but there could be a couple of pop-ups. This hour-by-hour model, I think, has a good handle on how things could happen based off what I just told you. 6 a.m., there's a couple of sprinkles around. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a raindrop or two, but I really think most of the morning hours are dry. What that means is by the afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, there could be a couple of more of these pop-ups. So there's 4 p.m., a chance of a couple of isolated downpours. That might continue through about 8 p.m. So mainly in the afternoon and evening, those quick little downpours not out of the question. Again, though, they're not going to happen everywhere. This is a day where most of the day is dry. If you have construction work to do or you're working in the yard or the garden, most of us are going to be fine tomorrow, but it is a day you want to keep an eye on the radar because you could see a shower or a quick thunderstorm. If you do see one, you might get a quick inch of rain. It's just not going to happen everywhere. Many of us will be pretty dry tomorrow. Thursday, same thing, very isolated storm chance, only about 30%. Most of us are dry. And then after that, we are nice and dry for Friday and the weekend. That's good news if you're sick of the rain. I know a lot of us are, especially after Monday. but we are going to have a trade-off there when it comes to the lack of rain. Dew point increases tomorrow. It'll be about 68. Notice that is well in the muggy category, so it's going to be a lot more humid tomorrow, especially through the end of the week. Look at the muggy meter and the dew point. Those numbers increase. Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, it is going to be extremely humid. What that means is the heat index is going to be higher. So temperatures expected to stay above average for the end of June, early July. Again, I think we're going to be in a dry pattern for a while. So that means it's just going to get more and more hot. So again, the last couple of days of June, early July, very warm and also very dry. The precipitation outlook shows very low rain chances in that same time period. So sunny and dry, but also hot and humid. Look at the heat index by the weekend and early next week. Heat index values around 100 this weekend, but could be near 105 by Monday and Tuesday. So our first real taste of summer coming up, especially with that extra humidity coming in. So now that it's really getting into summertime, really getting hot, just remember, especially by this weekend, take breaks inside next week too if you're going to be out. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. Don't forget your kids or your pets, especially those pets. They need to get inside, get some water. Also check in on your friends, family, and neighbors, especially those that might not have good working AC or might have some mobility issues. Make sure they have a way to stay cool and stay hydrated as well. So tonight, 67, it looks like a dry night, mostly clear. We'll get to 84 tomorrow with a mix of sun and clouds, a little more humid. And again, there could be a couple of sprinkles in the morning. A better chance, I think, of a few pop-up storms in the afternoon. Again, it's not going to rain everywhere tomorrow, but you could see a quick 30-minute downpour at some point tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. Thursday also looking mostly dry, very slight chance of a pop-up storm, high of 90. Friday, the weekend, and next week, I think we are bone dry. 90 on Friday, 91 Saturday, 93 Sunday. Plenty of sunshine, and it just keeps getting hotter. 94 Monday, 95 on Tuesday with sunshine, and more humidity again is going to push that heat index closer to 100 or even 105 for the weekend and for early next week. So get ready for that. The summer heat is cranking up, even though those rain chances are headed down. All right, as we are getting closer and closer to the weekend, some of us making plans to get out of town. We'll check in with meteorologist Daniel McDonald for a check of the regional forecast. Plus, we've been talking about the heat index, but what in the world does that mean? We'll explain it and break it down coming up after this on Weather Impact Now.